Good afternoon. My name is Debbie Evans, and I wasn't here last year. Kelly actually gave our presentation last year, but we recognize the value of us being here and you seeing us face to face. Kamiah Chamber is a little misleading because we actually are kind of the gateway for the Upper Clearwater Valley. And 2 years ago, we started doing regional advertising and promotional of our communities because we figured out that if one community failed, then we would all fail. And it's been very successful, and as a result, we've had a substantial increase in tourism in our area, so we're real happy with that. First of all, I'd like to thank Frances. She's there anytime I have a question, and we spend several times on the phone. And also Kathy, at the state level, she has answered over and beyond any questions that I've had in preparing the grants and also in administering them. So I'd like to thank her for that. What I've handed out is a carry-all bag. We figure by this time of the day you have a lot of stuff you've got to figure out how to get home. So we're providing you with the bag on it. There's also some very successful brochures that we've done in the past. For those of you that don't know, Kamiah and our area is one of the most world-renowned bird watching areas in the nation. So you have our birding brochure in there, our ever-famous community brochure that will be changing to the community map this year with the next printing. And we also have a regional what to do brochure in there that we'll talk about in a little bit later. Also, if you're flagging and you're running out of energy, you have some huckleberry bark in there for you to take home that's made especially for the Kamiah area. So if you have a sweet tooth, now's your time. In front of you, I've given you two budgets. One is our first choice and one is our second choice, and we're going to kind of look for some direction from you as a board as to which way you think we should go on some of our social media decisions that we're trying to make. First of all, I'm going to start at the very top and just go down so it's easier for you to kind of follow along with where I'm at. Our website, last year we were fortunate in 2008 that we completely redid our website. We've had a really good response to the changes that we've made. And so we've been really happy with that. And so we're going to continue with that this year. As a result of our new website, we feel that our request for information is up between 15 and 20%. About 2/3 of that is electronic requests, and about 1/3 of that is still hard copy print advertising requests. So it's kind of a mixed bag. We're kind of holding on to that thing. We are going to make a few more changes. We want to improve the drop-down capabilities in it to have a little bit easier navigation through our website, so we're looking at that as well. We're also going to expand it to include some social media that I'll talk about a little bit later in our presentation. And Kamiah and our region is taking a pretty proactive approach to tourism, particularly with losing our third mill. This year, tourism as an economic driver has really come to the forefront. Our tourism demographics is changing, and we have some new target markets. We're looking, a lot of our people are coming up on day trips or for short weekends. They're coming from Boise, Missoula, Spokane, Portland, the Tri-Cities in Washington, and also Utah. And we're finding that the age of our visitors is also lowering. Before we were, mainly RVs, older retirees, and with this year we are pulling in a lot of the early 30s professionals that have disposable income, which we were really happy to see. We're coming off of our most successful steelhead season ever. And the numbers that have just came out for the last quarter demonstrate that. We were way up in February and March at a regional level, so we're real happy with that we were able to tie into that. We're also coordinating with the top 10, the Northwest Scenic Byway, the All-American Road. Highway 12 is one of the top 10 motorcycle roads in the United States. And so we get a lot of that type of traffic during the season. We do a lot of regional promotional, as I mentioned before, and also local. So our website and our website hosting is going to remain pretty much the same as what it's been in the last couple of years as far as what we're asking for from ITC. Oh, I'm already past this card. Okay, postage is going to remain the same, but we're going to start transitioning to electronic and social media advertising. We're seeing the need for that. We haven't been able to do that in the past because Kamiah in our valley was kind of a no-phone zone. We have not had cell service until the last 2 years, and high-speed internet access has now become something that's very affordable to our merchants and to our people living in our valleys. So we really weren't ready to do that yet, but we are now. Which is kind of exciting. And we've been able to kind of keep the momentum from the Lewis and Clark bicentennial going in our community, and it's going to dovetail really nicely into the top 10 that's coming down the road. So our postage is going to remain the same. As far as our print advertising, we're going to change our community brochure to the community map and participate with the NCITA. We are going to continue doing our regional what to do, and this was kind of interesting. This came about, 2 years ago, and one of the things that happened right here is people would call us and they would want to come for a specific thing, and so they would come and that's all they would do. And this was kind of our way of letting people know that there's lots of other things to do when you come into the Clearwater Valley. And what's happening now is, say the fisherman will come, and then the next year, he'll bring some friends and maybe his wife and family because there's other things for other people to do while he's on the river. So this has been a very successful campaign for us, and we thank you for supporting it. We're going to continue with our Discover magazine ad. The two of them, both the Chamber and this one that you have in your hand. That has just been a phenomenal resource, not only for us, but for the entire North Central Idaho. So we want to continue participating in that as well. We also do a local business profile that goes out to people that either are visiting or would like to move to our area. And it's to let them know what the local services are, because when you are looking at going to a small community, you're not always sure what's there. We have a couple of grocery stores. We have a drugstore. It makes a difference when someone's coming to your community to know what services they can get there, particularly if they're going to stay for, say, a week. So we want to be sure and be able to continue to promote that.